Okay, so I'm going to do a quick video on how to do a U-turn using the counterweight technique. Previously, I referred to it as a counterbalance technique. I think that those terms can be used interchangeably, but as I understand it, MSF refers to it as counterweight technique, so that's what I'm going to call it from here on out. The problem with this camera setup is that you won't be able to see my body position as it changes on the bike to see how it is different than if you're just turning to the left, doing like maybe a 90-degree turn. It's different, and it's different for a good reason. I'll explain it, and then hopefully I might be able to add an image to the video that will kind of show you the difference in the seating position. When you're performing a standard 90-degree turn, in other words, you're at a turn signal, you're getting ready to turn left at a stoplight, you keep a central seat position. In other words, you're seated in the center of the seat on the bike. You simply lean the bike to the left and accelerate, basically. When performing a U-turn, you can't keep a centered seat position, but rather you need to shift your weight to the outside of the turn. So if I'm U-turning to the left, I'm U-turning out in this direction, I need to shift my seating position such that my rear end is now sitting on the outside, the right side of the seat. I want to slightly lean the bike, slightly turn the handlebars toward the side that I'm U-turning. Now, it's important that you shift your weight to the outside of the bike, because when you lean it at very slow speeds, it's very easy to kind of tip over to the side like this. So you have to shift your weight to the right side of the bike. If you're turning left, U-turn. Now, the most essential aspect of performing a U-turn is that you look where you're going. So if I'm trying to U-turn from this position and U-turn all the way over here, so I'm going to complete my U-turn at the end of this parking space where the white line is located over here. Alright, it's important that my eyes remain fixed on that spot as I'm turning. Now, the problem with that, again, is that doesn't give you a very good image of what I'm doing with the handlebars and, you know, operating the bike. If my eyes are fixed here, that means you're seeing here, and you can't really see what I'm doing with the bike. So, again, I may have to just add an image to the video so that you might get a better picture of this. But the idea is to do it at low speed, and you use the friction zone. Friction zone is simply the position of the clutch where the bike begins to move forward. So the gears come into contact with the clutch, and so it's at a certain point where the bike begins to shift forward. That's called the friction zone. And so you're working this friction zone, giving it a little bit of gas as you turn, again at low speeds. And so I'll just demonstrate it. I'm U-turning out here. So the first thing I want to do is use a little bit of gas. I'm shifting my seat position out. My eyes stay fixed on where I'm going. Okay, so you can't see the seat position, obviously. I'm going to demonstrate it once again. And there's actually a good way to practice this in both directions, which is to do tight figure eights. If you can do tight figure eights, shifting your seat position from right to left as you're turning, all right, that's a very good way to practice. And actually at the MSF course, that's how they had us practice. So once again, I'm using the friction zone. I'm fixating out here. I'm turning the wheel, shifting my weight to the outside, and I've completed my U-turn.